The SFL Network Postgame Show is on the air. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Home cooking. Theme of tonight's ball games. Louisville 56, Minneapolis 27. Los Angeles comes all the way back and nearly pulls it out. Down 35-7. They lose to Baltimore 35-28. Houston takes care of Cleveland tonight to get their second win of the season. Something needs to be addressed before we get to the callers tonight. Had to ban 5 people tonight because this world's got a lot of clowns and a lot less class than it needs. Listen, you got a lot of people that work hard on this league. If you're not one of the ones that work hard, we're happy to have you here. We want you here. We're thankful that you're here. But for the love of all that is holy, if you're not working and you got no room to talk, if you want to talk, you can work. But if you don't want to work, get your ass out. A lot of people work hard on this league. And there's a lot of people in society that don't know jack about what they're whining about and complaining about. And I tell you what, for every winner there is a loser in sports. And sometimes you're going to be a loser. You're going to be a loser. So get over it. When we have nights like this where I got to ban 5 people, I'm a loser too. More class, less clowns, as TJ Kag SFL says, and we'll be all right. And the SFL is moving in that direction a little bit closer tonight. Don't worry about it. That's all I got to say for now. The line is open, 210-473-8428. And with that, welcome to the SFL Postgame Show. And 3 big wins, and when blowouts happen, the chat gets interesting on SFL game nights, and you certainly don't ever want to miss it. Again, line is open, 210-473-8428. We'll take your calls. Let's talk about Louisville first. They get to 6-0, and before we get to that, Demond, I'm going to get to your call in a moment. 828, you're on the SFL Postgame Show.
It's Alan from Houston.
Congratulations, Alan. Houston played a great game tonight. Certainly, I would say, all around a good game for you guys, and you're able to get your second win, and that's a big deal. How do you feel about this victory?
I feel pretty proud, but we've still got a lot of work to do if we're going to make intentions of making the playoffs and everything. I'm not too proud of the interceptions we threw. We threw like 3, I've seen. And I would like to congratulate Greg and Demond. They've done an outstanding job on that defense and putting us more chances to score and everything.
You get the second win of the night. Cleveland, obviously a hungry team. It was the defense that did its job. Noah Martin played tremendous, but on offense, you were able to get Eric Vincent going. D.R. Sim had a good game. Darnell Black did his thing. A more balanced performance, and less Washington. You got to be happy about that, right?
Yeah, I did see Washington make a catch, though, and I would like to congratulate him on that, but only for a few yards. But we did add a little new formation for Vincent, and I was very proud. But like I said, I mean, it's just one step. We got a tough L.A. team coming up next week, and L.A., right now, they're a mirror image of us, 2-4, looking for that third win, hopefully back in the playoff hunt by next week.
And Los Angeles is a scrappy bunch. They lost to Louisville by 3, came back in that game. Lost to Baltimore tonight by 7, came back in that game. Lost to Sioux Falls by 7, came back in that game. They're right on the cusp there. How do you try to make sure that it's the Hyenas that continue to advance within the Teal Conference as conference play starts back up, by the way, next week, and
Exactly.
not the Sharks?
Well, LA is a very underrated team. Doug works constantly on his playbook. I talk to him very well. I'm his co-host on Inside the SFL, which I hope it continues after our talk tonight. But we'll get everything ironed out, hopefully, for the week. But, I mean, Doug, he's a brand-new guy, but I feel like a few schemes up our sleeves. I've actually had a few pocket balls waiting for LA. I've seen a weakness they do have, and hopefully I can address it, and Greg can hopefully stop down Park-Echo, because Park-Echo ran all. With Queen City last season in this championship game, Park-Echo is a beast.
You get a chance to sort of see your team come together, come full circle. There aren't many blowout victories in this league. You beat Queen City by 10, but when you get a blowout victory like the one you had tonight, you sort of have to relish in it and take a little time to cherish it, don't you?
Well, it's just I've noticed we're only 2-4, and it's no really time to celebrate. It's just ready to prepare for next week. We're a below 500 team, hoping to make it a season, and we're halfway there, and hopefully we can go 6-0 the last 6 games and make a playoff run.
Alan Drum, thanks for your time.
So I appreciate it.
Alan Drum, Houston Hyenas, otherwise known as J.D. Lawson, on that defense, works with the offense as well. I know D.R. Sim was trying to call in, and now I got to give him crap for giving me crap. But the Hyenas get the victory tonight. They get their second win of the season. Louisville remains undefeated. They beat Minneapolis 56-27. And Baltimore edges Los Angeles 35-28. And I think I said the wrong score on the postgame or on the air. 56-27 was the final. I think I may have said 56-34. 42-23, Houston got the win. 717, you're on the SFL postgame show.
Doug Boas.
Well, Doug, the suspended players were from your squad. Of course, obviously, you really had nothing to do with it or couldn't control it. But, losses are tough. Team played back in the fourth quarter, and just what are your general thoughts about those guys getting tossed and things being better for the Sharks moving forward?
They can kiss my ass. Anyway, now as far as the team, as it goes, there's guys on that team who help. There's guys on that team who contribute, and I'm sure you see it because you're on the channel. You know who's involved, who's not, per your own comments tonight. The Samoan Hawaii 5-0 line is no more. We have openings at 5 line spots as far as I'm concerned. In any case, TJ, great game. Krabs had a hell of a game plan. I have no idea how we came back at the end. My guys just kept digging like they do every week. So, end of the day, we're going to keep pushing. We got Houston next week. I just heard Allen on the air. Demond, if you want to win, you have to fire Allen. No, I'm just playing.
You got 3 games left at home, 3 games on the road. But before we get to the rest of Los Angeles' schedule and trying to claw your way back, which it helps for you guys that the Maulers fell tonight as well. Now just a game back again out of second place. But what did Baltimore do tonight that frustrated a usually composed Murdoch Mock who never really seemed totally comfortable until the fourth quarter?
Yeah, what's up with him? He's either on, he's either off. He's like a damn radio, on and off, and I don't know what the heck to do with him. If he could just put together a full game, I mean, he could be right there as one of the top quarterbacks in the league, but I don't know what his deal is. I just wish I knew.
Well, Mock had a pretty good game last week against Cleveland. 307 yards, 3 touchdowns, threw just a pick. And he's top 3 in the league in quarterback efficiency. Well,
I won top 2 then.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, have to compete with Matt Wilson and Mac Wavy for that.
Yeah, I don't think we have much of a shot at that right now. Those two are on fire.
Going into the game next week against Houston, I mean, still a lot of season left to be played. LA's lost now 3 games by 7 points or less, and everyone has that story. If you saw the SFL newsletter, there's a ton of teams that have lost at least 3 games by 7 points or less in the league this season. So, Houston is next. Darnell Black is next. The league's leading rusher, and if David Overstreet had not gone off tonight, probably still in the spotlight in the ground game. What makes him so special, and who is going to be charged as responsible for containing him primarily next week?
Well, Black had signs of life last season, but he wasn't consistent. Kudos to Allen, because he's the new coordinator over there, getting that guy going week after week after week. Now he's an absolute freaking machine. So we're going to have to hope that DJ Majesty and Cody Ewing can step up and put an end to him next week. So good luck, guys. We'll do what we can in practice to make that happen and put something together and make this, be an effective game plan next week. Hopefully we're in this game with everything that's going on with the team. I mean, I don't know who Murdoch Mock's taking a snap from next week, so there'll be no lineman in front of him. Maybe we'll just put the cheerleaders out there. I don't know what to do. So we have a lot to address.
Right.
Houston's coming into L.A. at the right time, I guess.
Well, you guys, this whole franchise, this whole organization just seems to constantly have things to address, and I'm not putting that. There's absolutely no fault to you on that whatsoever. It just is a pattern of this team. How do you sort of break the pattern? Find the guys that you know are with you and are going to be with you in the long term, and get the Sharks going in the direction that you envisioned when you got the team.
I'm just going to have to keep it 100 with those guys right there on the channel and say, are you with me or are you not? And per what you stated, get the hell out if you're not. Simple as that. I want to ride or die with the guys who are here. And, I'd rather a guy be honest with me and truthful with me and be on my side at the same time than act like he's with me and be against the team. But when you go on there and say, I'm done with this shitty-ass team, I believe that's how he worded it, and you and Cody jumped down his throat, which was absolutely hilarious. That's why I sat back and just watched, because you're the boss. I let you handle that. I wasn't creating unnecessary drama. But I have a good idea who's involved with my team, like Cody Ewing's involved, Macho Fog, Da Vinci, Tree Feather, Gladwin Wolf. All these guys are 100% committed to this team. So, I think with those guys on board, we're going to be just fine. And, hey, like I said, it's my first year as an owner. First year doing all this stuff. I'm learning week after week, and when I have these close games, they're moral victories, I'll take them. I accept them, and it is what it is, and we're going to keep pushing.
All right, Doug Boas, owner of the Los Angeles Sharks. Any touch on the Maulers tonight as well? They that hurt. I mean, you guys only lost to the Wolfpack by 3, so.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea how many times I touched the ball, ran the ball. I have no idea because, speaking out of character, I was flipping back and forth between all 3 games. My team that I play for, the team I own, my son was playing. I was all over the place tonight.
Well, but my point being is, do you feel a little better knowing that the Maulers are a game ahead of you in the division, yet they lost by 29 to Louisville, the same team that you only lost to by 3. Does that give you any confidence?
I guess that's another moral victory, but as I had stated, I guess it was before the season even started, I had made a promise to my team, and that was the student would beat the teacher. And I am the student, T-Pat is the teacher, and I want nothing more to beat him. And if that's the only game the Sharks win for the rest of the season, that's not necessarily going to be okay, but at least I'll be able to smile about that one.
Yeah, that's just about a month away, October 6th, when you're slated to play the Maulers in Minneapolis. Doug Boas, thanks for your time as always, and sorry about all that craziness.
Not a problem.
All right, Doug Boas, owner of the Los Angeles Sharks, doubles as the running back of the Minneapolis Maulers. Open line now, 210-473-8428. And while I'm waiting on our next phone call, as I said, if you're a fan of the SFL or if you're a player in the SFL, we want you to get involved. We want you to have the career, the experience, the coaching, the ownership, everything that you want. But you have to play a part. You have to play your role. Things just aren't given to you around here. We reward people who work hard, like this man. 832, you're on a postgame show.
Hello.
Hey, Demond. Hard-working man gets his second victory of the night. And you didn't really have to sweat this one out too much. What did you think of your team's performance?
I think the team did great. I don't know what the coordinator was talking about, saying that we didn't do too well, but we did better than what we did last week, comparing to, the way how we lost in that type of fashion.
I think there were a lot of people maybe cheering for Eric Vincent a little bit more than usual. He called on the show a couple weeks ago. Seems like a great guy. Got a touchdown tonight. Big play for Houston to extend the lead. I know you guys have been trying to get him a little bit more involved. You did that tonight, and you got to be happy about that, right?
Yeah, that has been our plan for the past I want to say three to 4 weeks, was to get the tight end Eric Vincent more involved into the game plan, because he pretty much wasn't much involved the first 2 games of the season. And tonight, he showed up big. You got a big catch down the middle of the field, and that's one thing about me, is that I love to take chances. I don't hide behind plays.
Yeah, a couple catches, 62 yards, that 45-yard touchdown for Vincent was definitely a game changer. You jumped on Cleveland, scored 21 points, 28 unanswered points actually in the second and third quarter before Cleveland started to make a go at it. What has gotten into Darnell Black in terms of his consistency? He just seems to, night in and night out, just be the bell cow, and he does it with just smoothness.
I tell you what, personally myself, I took Darnell Black out, took him to a personal trainer, had him to work on his footwork, things in that nature. Got him into some jiu-jitsu training over the off season and so on. If you notice that when he does his spin moves now, his spin moves are totally finesse. Last season, anytime he would try to spin, he would always get hit in the back because his footwork just wasn't correct, and he just wasn't spinning properly. So I took him to a personal training that I know got him some cross training in and stuff like that. And look at the guy now.
Right. Yeah, DR Sim led the way on the receiving end, 6 catches, 98 yards. Kind of similar performance for Alonzo Hamilton of Leroy Ambush. Sometimes we like to, sometimes we need some reminiscent of some guys that have been a super big part of a team in the past and have sort of faded in the background. Hamilton hasn't had as big of a season as he had in his rookie year, but 11 tackles tonight. Even a pass defended to go along with it. You just got to love watching your playmaker make plays on defense.
Right. That goes to Greg and his scouting and seeing and making sure that Hamilton is put in the right place. As a gold medal linebacker to make plays in that spot. He's able to run from sideline to sideline, get in the backfield, and do what he has to do. He was all over Baby Boas tonight.
2 and 4. You're sort of in the same situation as you were in. Well, not tonight, but against the Crabs, you were playing a team that had the same record as you. Tonight, you were a game up on Cleveland. Next week, you're playing a team that has the same record of you, Los Angeles. At 2 and 4, it puts you sort of on the fringe of those playoff hopes. There's still 6 weeks left. How do you continue to progress and move forward with this team to make sure that they're on the right path?
Continue to stay aggressive. On the offensive side, I have to continue to stay aggressive on the offensive side, and I can't worry about what type of skilled players that the other team has. In
Demond, you there? think we may have lost Demond. He just cut out there. Demond, you with us? All right, we lost Demond. If he calls back in with an open line, we'll get him on there. But if not, we thank Demond Simien for his time, as always. Crazy coming into the week. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 16 teams in the SFL were either 2-3 or 3-2. There's a lot of parity in the middle of the league. At the top of the league, Louisville continued to flex its muscles tonight. Santa Fe will take the field Wednesday against Dallas. That should be a phenomenal game between the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense. Sioux Falls 4-1. They're on the main network Wednesday night. That is our next broadcast against the DC Dragons. I also want to welcome some new members today. Adam Hollister is new to the SFL today. We also had Bam W. Joining the fold of the Simulation Football League, and we're so happy to have you guys and all the other new faces around that have been here in the joined over the last few days. More to come as we grow with you, just a tremendous job, and enjoying so much as we near the midway point of the season, how the season is unfolded and what is in store for the future. And we hope you are around with us for it. Commissioner's State of the League address will be coming sometime in the next 30 days, maybe potentially in the next 2 weeks. Hell, maybe this week. You never know. There's certainly some things that need to be said, addressed, and pushing forward to the future. But staying in the present, Louisville just phenomenally dominant, and I want to give you David Overstreet's final stats tonight. 313 yards on 5 touchdowns, averaged 17 yards a carry. If you combine that with his receiving, he did well. They actually counted one of his touchdowns that I was thinking was a pass as a run. He only had 15 receiving yards tonight, but 6 total touchdowns, 328 all-purpose yards. I could have sworn he had a 7th, but the CPU may have given it to somebody else. Doug Boas led the way in receptions with 12 tonight. Jalen Miller at 11 for 139 in a score. Davis Reed, 9 for 144 in a score. So the wideouts for Mac Wavy Jr. still pretty solid tonight. Wavy Jr. 42 of 54, 449, had that late interception. And Skelter P. Funk gets over 300 yards, 304. 304 yards for Funk and 313 for Overstreet. Overall, 304 passing yards and 306 rushing yards for Louisville. You just can't beat that. Just a tremendous performance. Going to leave the line open for just a little while longer. 210-473-8428. Would love to hear from some Crabs. Somebody from Louisville. Got a lot of victories tonight. We've heard from Houston. We want to make sure that we give you all a chance to share your thoughts, speak your mind, and let us know how your team's season is doing or how your players' season is doing here on the SFL Postgame Show. That is what it's all about. And Demond is back with us. Demond, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
And what happened?
I have no idea.
Anyway, you were saying you want to continue to be aggressive.
I have to continue to be aggressive in the play calling on the offensive side of the ball. Defensive-wise, we got some stuff that we got to work on with the offensive line as far as start figuring out what's going on with them in their stunts, because sometimes they seem to go a little out wide and they just look bizarre. But game plan will continue to go as planned, just like we did for the previous weeks. Straight pound the rock first, go to the air second. And that's pretty much it, Cam. Just going to be aggressive in the play calls, man. Just not going to sit back and just, pacify ourselves or pacify the Sharks. The hell with them.
Oh, God. This night just keeps getting wilder. You played Louisville earlier this season, and you played them tight. You've also played Santa Fe, too. But focusing on Louisville, what do they do that is the toughest to stop? Because the Maulers, quite frankly, couldn't stop anything that they did tonight.
Man, I really don't have an answer for that. I tell you this, is the best way to play Louisville is, I mean, this is anybody you're playing. Put your players in positions to make plays. That's what you have to do. You know, we had players in position to make plays. You know, we got a couple of turnovers against Louisville. You know, we had a couple of picks and so on. But when your team convert those turnovers, you have to be able to score off of those turnovers. You know, Louisville has a nice defense. You can't be intimidated by them, man. You have to go out there and smash them in the mouth just as well. They're gonna come and smash you in your mouth. You know, you got to take it to them.
Lou Wolfpack wants you to meet him outside.
Hey, I'll give you my address, 1025 Dulles Avenue. Come meet me.
You know this is going on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I know. That's why they say the city and state.
Yeah, that's true. You didn't give that away. Good Lord.
No. But I think everybody knows I live in the Houston suburbs, so.
Well, now they do. If they didn't know before, boy, we're really off the rails tonight. Demond Simien, thanks so much for your time, your address, your social security number, and everything else associated with your life. I appreciate it.
Thanks, bud.
Open line 210-473-8428. Man, oh man. How could you miss any of this? How could you miss any of this? Hope no one's sleeping. One last time, 210-473-8428. If anyone wants to comment on the games tonight, or anything else that they feel like they want to share. This is a freedom of speech country. I don't know how Mexico does it, Ramos Lynn, or or Argentina or anybody else, but I know that this is a free speech country, and you certainly should be able to speak your mind if you choose. This will be the last caller of the night. 954, you're on the SFL Postgame Show.
Hey, Cam, what's good, man? I'm my ERX, Max Paul, the defensive coordinator for Baltimore, as well as slot wide receiver and punt returner, kick returner, Wane Inzer.
Hey, that's a long title, my friend. That's
just busy.
Man, everyone else is fired up tonight. Who do you want to call out tonight?
Nobody. I'm just happy to be back to 500. It was a long road back. Well, happy to be back to 500, halfway mark of the season, brand new beginnings, and just try to get everything back in order so we can hopefully make a run at these playoffs.
Hey, you wanna do me a favor and take my job over the next week or so? I think I need a vacation.
I mean, I don't think I could do what you do. I don't have the sultry, angelic voice that you do.
Oh, okay.
I think you'll get tired real quick, so I don't think that will work.
All right, let's get to your game at hand. You got yourself up 35-7 and put LA in a hole. LA's sort of, they made it a game late. They scored, 2 touchdowns in 30 seconds there, as I think Mike Dazzo let his guard down a bit. But overall, how did you think that the offense performed? Mike Dazzo, the ever steady Mike Dazzo, 23 of 29 tonight. Got himself in trouble with a pick late, but overall, a nice game for your QB. Tonight, quiet night for you receiving. Didn't have a catch, but obviously got out on the field returning a lot of kicks tonight.
Dazzo did what he does best, which is manage the game, keep everything in manageable downs and distances. Esco was doing it big with his feet, losing the coverage, getting open. So did Michael Zai doing his thing on the opposite end. And we actually threw the ball to the tight end for the first time in forever on offense. Everything, we had a nice little balance between that and Snyder moving the chains, which, gave the defense a breath and a break, be able to recoup and get ready to, slow down Park He and that explosive LA offense with those, 2 outside receivers. And that's all coming into the game. That's all we really wanted to do. We just keep everything contained, keep them in front of us, make them earn every yard. Nothing easy, no missed tackles that go for 50 or 60. Especially with Parkey being the fastest player in the league and whatnot. And even though they got those late touchdowns at the end, we're just happy to escape there with the victory. And as I said before, to just get back to 500. And we knew this opening stretch of the season would be grueling when the schedule opening, when the schedule first dropped and we looked at the opening slate and we're like, oh my goodness, how are we going to escape out of this with any kind of wins? And we're just happy now to just be able to breathe and look at that division of everybody in there is kind of beating each other up and so it's kind of like everybody's kind of even right now, so we just want to recoup and take this time and just start to get ready for the second half of the season that's coming up.
LA blocked a punt tonight, didn't they?
No, we blocked theirs.
Oh, you blocked theirs. Okay, yeah. Because I was gonna ask you. As a punt returner, I don't think that Baltimore's ever had a punt blocked. Not to my knowledge, not that I can remember. But is that not the most deflating thing for you as a returner to see the punt blocked and you not even get an opportunity?
No, that's great. That made my job easy. So instead of me having to work my way all the way up there to bring the ball up, that block, saves 40 yards of real estate, and special teams is a bunch of hidden yards. People never account for those, but every time a punt goes 40 yards, that's 40 yards the offense has to go extra to get to the end zone. In that instance, that's 40 less yards they had to cover, which was great for me. Less work, and always a good thing.
This is your first time calling in the post-game show, isn't it?
Yes, my first time to the post game, but I usually call to inside the SFL all the time with Alan and Doug. But it's my first time. Actually, it's my second time. Last time, I called in late last week, and then you're like, "Oh, 954. Well, this guy he must have hung up." All right, have a good night, guys.
Okay. So you're the guy that ruined the exit of last week's show. Okay.
I was trying to call in, but then you were kind of giving the the credits are rolling. It's like, 954's on. Like, no, I can't do that. No, let Cam go to bed. He had a long day. Let the man get rest up and ready for the next one.
Well, tell us before you go. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How you found out about the SFL. I know you found it through the Baltimore Crabs and Tim Johnston, but you really. To my knowledge, you really didn't get heavily involved until recently, and it seems like we've conformed you a bit. Is that true?
A little. I knew I was okay. Last year, TJ finally coerced. We'll use that word. Yes, I said coerced, TJ. Into making creating somebody and just putting them on the squad. And then when the playoffs rolled around, I was able to catch, a couple other playoff games. And then watching the playoff games, I was kind of getting ticked at the fact that, wow, quarterbacks have 30 seconds to throw the ball against us. That is not good. So I'm like, TJ, let me get the reins of the defense. We're going to do something here to fix that. And I'm thinking, wow, we have made a difference because I didn't even notice that until I checked out the stats today. We are third in the league in sacks.
There you go.
I'm like, how? Where? I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm doing something correct. So that's how I got involved with the SFL. So now I am. How can I say this? I'm avidly watching, just to make sure that they're doing what I expect them to do after watching all these hours and prep, putting in all the prep work to make sure that we're able to at least slow down the opposition. Maybe not stop, but slow them down enough that that we force them to do the things that they don't want to do.
And Rami Tafesh got the sack for you tonight. You picked up another sack on your DC resume, but does it help knowing that you're getting sacks for actual people out there?
Yes and no. But the thing is, with how light our front seven is, because I often get told by others, like, how are you running that front seven? You only have one goal linebacker. How are you?
Right.
He's setting you up for failure. But no, he's actually allowing me to be creative. Because sometimes when you have certain star players, you got to use them a specific way, and so you got to cater to them. With the dearth, should I say, of star players that we have especially on our D-line. It helps me, lets me be creative. So I throw some crazy twist with a delayed safety blitz here and a delayed corner blitz there, and it's like, it works. But if I did have those star players to make sure that they were able to, use them that specific way, I wouldn't have had to stretch myself and find new creative ways to get and affect the passer at the opposite end.
Interesting perspective in coaching. I always love to hear that type of stuff. Max, should I call you Max Paul or Wane Inzer or Mighty RX, or what should we call you?
I've been Mighty since middle school, and that was 20 plus years ago. So you call me Mighty, you call me Max Paul, you call me Wane Inzer, just don't call me late for dinner.
All right, Mighty. Well, we appreciate the time and appreciate the phone call. Congrats on the victory tonight.
Thank you, Commish. You have a good night.
You too. Thanks so much to Mighty for the call and everyone else for the call calling in. This has been another edition of the SFL Postgame Show. And it's been a night, I tell you that much. Stay tuned for SFL Last Night tomorrow. Have a wonderful Labor Day. And we'll see you back Wednesday night for the Sioux Falls Sparrows and the DC Dragons in prime time. Along with Santa Fe, Dallas, and OKC, Carolina, from all of us in the SFL crew and the staff around the league, I am Commissioner Cameron Irvine saying good night and stay sane, everybody.